Welcome back to Passionate About Tech. Hicksfield has just launched Cinema Studio, and honestly, it is a massive upgrade for generative AI because it gives you full control over the output of your images and videos. It is actually like you are becoming a professional director like Christopher Nolan yourself. In this video, I am going to show you everything you need to know about Cinema Studio to create cinematic masterpieces. Let us jump right in. To get started with this, while you are on the Hicksfield website, you want to navigate over to Cinema Studio. Over here, you have a few different options. You can switch between image and video modes easily. We are going to start with the image section to build our perfect frame first. Now, in the image section, you have your standard prompt box, the batch size for how many outputs you want, and your resolution settings. That is all the basic stuff. Next up is the really cool part where you can choose the camera that you like. You can choose a Sony camera or even an IMAX camera. Just remember that in the real world, these cameras are insanely expensive, sometimes costing over $500,000. But here, you have them all at your fingertips for free. Before we test them, I want to show you the prompt I'm using. Instead of uploading a personal photo, I'm using a high-quality open-source image. The prompt I am using for these tests is hyper-detailed street-level photograph set in a large European city at dawn. I have run several tests using this exact prompt to see how different camera bodies change the look and feel of the scene. Let us analyze the results together. First, we tested the IMAX film camera. Looking at result 1 and the result 1 details, the image is incredibly sharp and has that massive, grand scale you expect from a blockbuster movie. The details on the figure's face and the debris on the clothing are rendered with extreme clarity. One thing to note is that Cinema Studio generates these images in a 21:9 aspect ratio, which really adds to that wide cinematic feeling. Next, we switch to the Arri Alexa 35. Looking at result 2 and the result 2 details, this gives off those classic Hollywood vibes. The colors feel a bit more natural, and the roll-off into the shadows is very smooth. It is super realistic and has a professional, polished look that would fit perfectly in a modern drama. Finally, we tested the Arriflex 16S-R. Looking at result 3 and the result 3 details, this result looks a lot different. We have a lot more film grain here, and the colors feel a bit darker and more organic. This is perfect if you are going for a vintage or a documentary look where you want the image to feel a bit more raw and less digital. I am being neutral about these results because each camera serves a different creative purpose. I recommend that you experiment with these settings yourself and choose whichever one matches the vibe of your project. There is no right or wrong choice here, just your personal preference as the director. Now that we've explored the different camera bodies, let's dive into what truly gives a shot its character: the lenses. Lenses are where the real cinematic magic happens in Cinema Studio. Before we look at the results, it is important to understand the two main types of lenses you can use: spherical and anamorphic. A spherical lens captures the image normally with no distortion, giving you a clean and natural look. On the other hand, an anamorphic lens is a Hollywood staple. It physically squeezes the image horizontally, which is then de-squeezed in post-production to create that iconic ultra-wide cinematic look. In Cinema Studio, you can choose between a spherical lens and an anamorphic lens, and both of them have their own unique features that will drastically change your AI output. To keep our tests completely fair and consistent, I am using the exact same camera and the same input image for every single lens test in this section. I am also using the same prompt. Let's analyze the results of our lens tests. First up, we have the Panavision C-Series result. This is an anamorphic lens, and you can immediately see that classic blue stripe horizontal lens flare stretching across the frame. It provides a wide, cinematic feel that looks like it was pulled straight from a high-budget sci-fi film. Moving on to a more artistic choice, we have the Petvol result. This is a spherical lens, but it has a very famous side effect: a swirly vignette. If you look closely at the edges of the frame, there is a distinct swirling motion blur that draws your eyes right to the subject's face. It is a very stylized, almost dreamlike look. Finally, we looked at the Canon K35. This lens gives the image a completely different personality. It is much brighter and produces a large, warm flare from the sun on the left side of the frame. It creates a soft, glowing atmosphere that feels very different from our original input image. I'm staying neutral on which one is best because it really depends on the story you are trying to tell. I recommend playing with these settings yourself to see which lens flare or bokeh pattern speaks to you. Now that we have our camera and lens selected, we need to talk about the slider that changes the entire scale of your production: focal length. This is where you decide if you want an epic, wide-angle stadium shot or an intimate, high-stakes character close-up. In Hicksfield, this is measured in millimeters, and understanding how to use it will make your AI videos look like they were shot by a professional cinematographer. To keep our results completely consistent, I'm using the exact same camera and the same base input image for all of these tests. I am also using the same prompt we used for the baseball scene to make sure we are only seeing the impact of the focal length changes. First, let's look at the 8mm result. This is what we call an ultra-wide or fisheye lens. As you can see in the generation, the edges of the frame are heavily distorted and curved. It captures a massive amount of the stadium and the crowd behind the batter. This is the perfect setting if you want an immersive, high-energy action cam feel where the viewer feels like they are standing right on home plate. Next, we move to the 14mm test. This is still very wide, but notice how that extreme bubble distortion from the 8mm has smoothed out. You still get a great sense of the environment and the scale of the field, but the batter looks more natural. It's a fantastic choice for establishing shots where you want to show the athlete and the world they are playing in at the same time. Finally, we tested the 50mm focal length. Look at the difference here. This is a prime length for portraits. The background is now beautifully compressed and soft, which makes the dust, the grit, and the focused expression on the batter's face really pop. It cuts out the distractions of the crowd and forces the audience to focus purely on the intensity of the swing. This is exactly what you want for those emotional, character-driven moments. I highly encourage you to move that slider around and see how it changes the weight of your AI generations. Now that we have mastered the art of creating the perfect cinematic frame, it is time for the real magic, turning those stills into high-end motion. Let us head over to the video section in Hicksfield. This is where you become the director and actually control the camera movement. Once you are in the video interface, you will see a variety of new settings that give you full creative authority. First, we have the Movements menu. This is incredibly useful because it allows you to bypass complex prompting for camera work. You can choose from presets like static, handheld for a natural wobble, zoom out, zoom in, and even more advanced moves like orbiting or a physical dolly out. It literally puts the camera in your hands. Next to that, you have the duration toggle. You can choose between a quick 5-second clip or a longer 10-second scene if your prompt needs more time to breathe. The first feature I want to show you is the Start and End Frame mode. This is one of the most powerful tools in Cinema Studio because it takes the guesswork out of AI motion. Instead of just hoping the AI moves the way you want, you provide the start frame and the end frame. For this test, I uploaded my first image showing the character in shock and the second image showing the wider collapsed scene. I then used the prompt, "He stands frozen in shock, camera whips right to the crumbling skyscraper." I have to tell you, the result was truly satisfactory. The AI managed to interpolate the movement between those two frames perfectly, creating a fast, professional whip pan that felt completely natural and cinematic. Next, let us look at the movement presets, specifically the zoom in function. For this test, I used our Desert Explorer image as the base. Instead of prompting the movement, I simply selected the Zoom In preset from the Movement menu. Again, the results were truly satisfactory. The movement was smooth, steady, and had that heavy, expensive dolly feel you see in big-budget movies. The sand particles stayed consistent in the air as the camera pushed in, which is usually very hard for AI to get right. And there you have it! You are now fully equipped to use Hicksfield Cinema Studio like a professional filmmaker. We have gone from choosing high-end cameras and lenses to mastering focal lengths and creating perfect motion with start and end frames. The possibilities for your next project are truly endless. Thank you for watching, tech lovers. Stay passionate, keep tinkering, and I will catch you in the next one.